Alright, back again, another day on the road to self-improvement. So today, got a couple things done. I went and had my first doctor's appointment in about 5 years or so, and it was embarrassing a little bit. So I got a physical, and what they do is they look in your ears, your eyes, they get your vitals, so that's the blood pressure and heart rate, and height, weight, a little too much. What's really embarrassing is then they check your manhood or your womanhood, right? I know that a male checkup isn't necessarily as invasive as a female one, where they look inside, a little swab. But what made today a little embarrassing was the lady who gave me my physical was gorgeous, and then because they don't want you to, legal reasons, they have someone else come in the room and like, oh yeah, we'll have another provider come in and be there with us. I was like, oh, that's fine, whatever, don't really care either way. And then of course the second person that came in was also a very attractive woman, and here I am, schlubby, greasy hair, totally naked except for a paper potato sack. Wasn't great. Everything, yeah, so got that done. Nice. Got what I needed to get done. I got a prescription, so we'll see how that can hopefully help. But yeah, I think the big thing today was that, so like I mentioned before, my grandfather passed fairly recently, actually yesterday, and we went over, my brothers and I, and my older brother's family, went over to my parents, and my dad had wanted to get like a little gathering together, just to, talk about life and being a dad, and what his dad meant to him and us, and if there were any particular memories that we had of him, my grandfather, that is. So several years ago, my grandfather had given me a collection of King Arthur novels, and King Arthur stories and Knights Templar and stuff like that. So I brought over a book that my grandpa had given me. It's titled King Arthur and His Knights, and I remember reading it in 5th grade. And it was nice to have a nice chat about everything. It got a little emotional, definitely. I definitely got a little choked up talking about how I'm trying to make some improvements, and how for the last few days I'm really proud of myself that I've just been able to get up and make my bed. And just that one little act of every day, no excuses. Really kind of a good example of this is on, I think it was Saturday, where I got up and I had that big exam. And by the time everything was all done with all the exam, it was maybe 12:30 in the afternoon, and I hadn't made it to bed because I woke up and went straight to the lecture online, and then online exam. And I went into my room to change or something, and so my bed wasn't made. And the first thing I thought was, I'll do it tomorrow. I don't have to do it, it's not the morning anymore, it's the afternoon. Making your bed in the afternoon doesn't count. And I turned around, I got 1 foot out the door of my room, and I just stopped and said to myself, that's not what we're doing here, okay? And turning back around, made my bed, even though it was 12:30 in the afternoon. I know that doesn't sound like a big deal to a lot of people, but it just kind of that act of defiance against myself in a way. I don't know. So I made the bed, and I'm really glad that I've done that every day for the past couple days. It's been it's weird. I don't know. I had mentioned this before on one of the other videos, that just making your bed, it's crazy. I know a lot of people talk about how, a lot of like self-improvement people, a lot of big speakers will talk about how just make your bed in the morning. You should try it if you're having trouble. I don't know if you're watching this, but try it every day. No excuses, no matter what, just make your bed. Anyway, I'm really sidetracked, but being there with my dad, and I have two brothers, and just being able to talk about being a father figure. I'm not a father. I do not have any children. My older brother does. And what that means, and like what it means to be a male, an adult, a man. And I was really struck with just how important it is to have a male figure in your life, to someone to look up to have someone to be like a divining rod and to help guide you, like, this is how a man should behave, this is how you should act and be a part of society. And I know that I'm not disparaging any single mothers out there, because they're certainly strong and they can raise children fine on their own, but it can't be denied that there is a unique benefit and a unique ability that a man has to another man, especially one who you look up to in the way that a son can only look up to a father. And it was really great experience to be there with my brothers and my dad and talking about growing up and how we have only so much time. And we have, not with my family, but we all have such petty grievances, and we get spun up about things you see on the news or on TV, and you hear about it on like a social media thing, or maybe someone cuts you off, and we can't let that stuff rule our lives, because really at the end of the day, we're all gonna die, right? There's only one way out. It's feet first, right? And for some reason, death is always such a surprise to all of us. It's the only thing in life that's certain outside of taxes, right? Very famous old quote. But it's never expected. Like, even when someone's on their literal deathbed, when they die, it's like, I can't believe he's gone, right? That's like the thing they always say. So it was a really great, like, perspective moment, and it really brought us together a little closer as a family unit. Unfortunately, I don't have any sisters, but I'm sure they would have gotten just as much out of it too. So I'm in kind of a pensive mood today, or tonight, if you couldn't tell. But yeah, tomorrow I got work, and definitely gym. I think I'm supposed to be grabbing a beer with my dad. We'll talk about stuff. I kind of mentioned that I was doing a little online diary thing on YouTube, so I'm not gonna give him the name of the channel, right? Again, that's not what this is about. I'm not really looking to necessarily like go out and share this with as many people as possible. Again, this is just kind of for me. So maybe one day I can look back on this and say, wow, look how far you've come. You're crying about making your bed and sad, overweight, and a really pretty lady had to put her hand down there when you had a crappy paper dress on, and it was embarrassing, but it was all for the better, I suppose. Anyway, that's all. I'll see you guys later, hopefully with some updates for tomorrow.